Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be trying out some new makeup from Sephora. I am so excited because I purchased a bunch of these things, minus a couple things here that were sent to me from Rare Beauty, but it's pretty much just going to be a little Sephora try on haul. And I'm going to be honest with you, I already tried out all these goodies last week. I did a first impressions and the video was a fail. The audio was so bad. I had so many technical difficulties last week with all the videos that I filmed, but I did get a new mic, another one. So we are all good now and in the clear. And honestly, the good thing about this is that we can kind of do like a second first impression, so I can give you guys my thoughts based on whenever I did try everything out last week, because I did do a full day wear test. But yeah, it's gonna be a little second first impressions, which honestly I feel like is even more helpful than the first time trying it out. So make sure you guys grab a snack, get cozy, and let's get into it. So for eyes, I'm gonna start off with my Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer, which is one of my favorites, and I'm just gonna do the most basic eye look today, which is the same look that I did last week, and I'm pretty much gonna recreate that because I loved the makeup that I did with these products. I'm going to be using the new shadow sticks from Rare Beauty. These specifically are the all of the above weightless eyeshadow sticks. I have the color Integrity and Adventure. Integrity is a really light champagne. I'm going to use that on my brow bone and inner corners, and then Adventure is a gorgeous true bronze. First impressions for me last week, I really enjoyed the way that they applied, but I like the way they blend better with a brush. You can totally use your finger, but I have acrylic, so it just makes it a little bit more difficult, so I prefer a brush. But they are creamy enough to the point where you can totally just use your finger as well. They're really easy, so you pretty much just apply it, blend it, you're good. So I'm gonna start with that color, put it all over the lid, and then I just use a brush to kind of fluff it out and blend it. I love the formula of these. Love this color too, by the way. It's the most perfect bronze shade. This color kind of reminds me of the shade Smog from the Urban Decay Naked palette, the original. Do you guys remember that? I am so sad that I decluttered that palette because it was one of the first high-end palettes I ever purchased, and you cannot get it anymore, which makes me so sad because it was so iconic. There's so many makeup products that I regret decluttering, and that is definitely one of them. So yeah, these shadow sticks are it. I'm really happy with the formula of these. And I did at first try to blend these out with my finger, and they do work, but I prefer them with a brush because they do dry pretty fast as well. So I like them more so with a brush, but you can totally use your finger too. Shadow sticks for me get a 10 out of 10. I really like the formula, and this color is stunning. If you're into bronzy tones, you need the shade Adventure. I really like these. Also, I wanted to mention two lip oils that I'm wearing on my lips today. First one is this one from Haus Labs that I tried. This is from a separate order that I placed, but the PhD hybrid lip oils from Haus Labs are incredible if you need a new one. They give you the most gorgeous tint. They're not sticky. They have no fragrance to them, and they are just a true hydrating lip oil. Definitely also in my top 5. So I got this new color in Primary. This is the only color that I don't have. And it's just a gorgeous kind of like cherry pinky red. I also wanted to try out because I've seen so many people loving and raving about this lip oil. This is so incredibly hydrating. The formula is kind of similar to Haus Labs in a way, but this one is honey infused, and it feels so nice on the lips. Like, it truly hydrates the lips, and what I like about both of these is that they don't feel like a gloss. They feel like an actual lip oil. For mascara, I have been loving the Cleantopia mascara from CoverGirl. Has the most perfect wand. It is so comfortable when you apply it. It actually feels very nice. It gives volume, length, and separation. I love especially the way my lower lashes look with this mascara. And then for lashes, I'm going to keep it classic with one of my favorites of all time, Kiss Pompadour. I'm not going to do any eyeliner today, so these just give the perfect amount of thickness and darkness to the look. Let's move into the skin. I'm going to start off with the Kosas Dream Beam SPF 40. I've been testing this out, and this is a really pretty glowy SPF. I will say though, it leaves a bit of a white cast. Nothing crazy. I love the packaging, by the way. Super cute, but it does leave a bit of a white cast. I'll show you once I blend it in. But it is very glowy. If you are not into a glowy SPF, this is not for you. To me, this honestly feels even a little bit more glowy than the Super Goop. It is very hydrating. I don't know how I feel about it under makeup a ton, because obviously, of course, if you use a good amount, it's also going to be extremely glowy, but it can feel a little bit greasy if you do too much as well. So, you know, it has its pros and cons. I'm curious to know if you guys have tried this. What are your thoughts? I think it is really pretty. Like I said, I love the glowy aspect to it, but I think I would probably just skip out on this if you don't like a dew, and because of the white cast. It's not terrible, but it's definitely there. New skin tint alert. This is the Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. Beautiful packaging. I got the shade 9. This color, by the way, is a really good match. And this is also a really hydrating skin tint for sure. And this wore beautifully the other day. It's just so skin-like. I love the way it blends. And I feel like in general, Hourglass is definitely to me like a luxury brand at Sephora, but they kill it with their complexion. I love their stick foundation. Their concealer is also really nice. I love their loose powder. It's just really beautiful. I just really love what it does to the skin because it's so healthy and it still covers and evens everything out, but it still looks very just smooth and skin-like. And the way that this wore the other day was really comfortable even through the heat and everything, so I really enjoyed it. Now I have 2 concealers here. This is a perfect match and the concealers are not, so bear with me. Starting with the Makeup by Mario concealer, I got the color 260. I need to get a different shade because this is way too yellow on my under eyes. I can make it work, but it's just not a perfect shade. And I will be honest, I wasn't too impressed with the way that this wore on me the other day. It was okay. And by the way, I'm gonna try out another concealer on the other side. I have 2 different brushes. It's the same brush but a different one because I love it. This concealer is super creamy. It blends like a dream into the skin and it gives some good medium coverage, but I just wasn't super impressed with the way that it wore. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. This just wasn't really a life-changing formula to me. Also, the Makeup by Mario concealer is advertised as a self-setting concealer, which I don't really see. Like, to be honest, you can still see that kind of very hydrated, luminous under eye. I think no matter how dry your under eyes are, you gotta set your concealer, and this one included. I have another new concealer that we're gonna try on the other side, and this color is definitely not a good match, but it's from Natasha Denona. I really love this packaging, by the way. It's the High Glam concealer. It's a little bit too light for me, but we're gonna make it work. I got the color N4. I love the flat spatula applicator, so nice, but again, the color is just not it for me. But this also has a very good, almost like cooling, hydrating formula, and it also gives some medium coverage that is buildable. It boosts collagen, anti-aging, medium buildable coverage. I mean, it has good things. It says up to even 19-hour wear, which is insane. And I think it did wear pretty nicely. It just didn't really give me a ton of that wow factor, but the shade is also not a perfect match, so I feel like it was kind of throwing me off the other day a little bit. I have a couple other favorite high-end concealers that I think I prefer over these two. I love the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer, Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer, the Hourglass Vanish. I think if you're looking for more full coverage, both of these concealers are not it. So Natasha Denona, it's beautiful though. It blends so nicely. It's just the way that it wears throughout the day, it's not really that much different than some of my other concealers that I have in my collection. So I just don't feel like this is a life-changing product. Makeup by Mario on this side. They both honestly remind me of each other. The formulas, the coverage, super similar, but obviously the shades are off. So we're gonna have to make this work. What I'm gonna do is take my foundation brush that I was just using and kind of just rubbing the edges of that concealer around my cheek just so that it looks more seamless and blended with the skin tint. Now I have this Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. This one is in Perfect Pink. You guys, this is definitely a new favorite cream blush for me. I want to get more colors. This is so beautiful. It's so easy to blend and it's very long lasting, but it's a nice buildable formula. It gives a really nice wash of color. It's hydrating, but it's not excessively dewy. Usually doesn't take much for me to know if I love a cream blush. So the minute that I used this, I was already impressed, but I really enjoyed the way it looked throughout the day. And even after an entire full day, it looked so good. Now I finally picked up the One Size Ultra Pink Loose Setting Powder. I have the translucent version, and I will say the pink is really nice. This is a smoothing, very matte powder. If you want to tone this down a little bit and make it less pink, you could always mix it in with your translucent powder. But I also really love this packaging. We have a nice little lid here covering up the sifter, and then you have all the powder there. It honestly is nice with the little cover on top because it's less messy, and then you're not wasting as much product, which is fabulous. So I really like the packaging. Before setting, I'm going to take my concealer brush and just run it very lightly on my under eyes to blend out any creases. That way when I set, I'm not setting those creases down. I like to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I will set my under eyes, and you can see that pink tint, which I think is really pretty. So what I noticed is that especially if you're wearing a pink blush underneath and then you use this powder, it makes everything just look so much more blended. You can just see like the pink under eye with the pink blush. It just kind of all flows and blends together really nicely that way. This powder is very smooth, I will say. If you love a matte powder, one size is it. You can kind of see that crease under there. Can you see that? See, like if I don't set my concealer, this is how it's gonna look all day. Setting is key. The one size powder gives you instant matte smooth skin. For the rest of the face, I'm gonna do a combination of my Charlotte Tilbury press powders. I have the shade 1 Fair and 2 Medium. I'm gonna mix both of these. I'm using a Rose and Ben what's the brush? C41. This is a really good powder brush, by the way. I love this powder still. It is one of the best. You see the blush still kind of peeking through. I didn't do an excess amount because of course I didn't want it to be too much, but the more that you do, the more you're gonna have that color showing up even after powder. And I'll just use whatever is left over on my brush and kind of just run it over to make it pop just a bit more, and it doesn't separate anything underneath. It still looks so flawless. It gives a perfect amount of color. I'm touching up my brows a little bit with the Rare Beauty brow gel. I've been testing this out. This is not really a brand new product for me, and I really like it. It's a super lightweight brow gel, and the only other one that I have to compare this one to is the Dominique Cosmetics Brow Blowout Shaping Gel. So the main difference between both of these is, I'll show you guys. First of all, the wands are slightly different, but they're both small. The one from Dominique is actually, no, they're pretty much almost identical as far as the wand size. You can see Rare Beauty is here and then Dominique Cosmetics is there. They're both small. The main difference for me is the formulas. The one from Dominique Cosmetics is a bit thicker. It has more of like that intense hold. Rare Beauty is also going to give you some nice hold, but it's a more lightweight brow gel. This is pretty much like brow lamination in a tube, to be honest. The one from Dominique Cosmetics. The one from Rare Beauty, it's still going to hold your brows in place to give you a nice fluffy look, but it's not as thick. So slightly different formulas, but they both perform nicely and they give some good hold. Something that I tried from Rare Beauty that I'm not like a huge fan of is the new gel eyeliners. I feel like this is just not really revolutionary. If you're going to splurge on an eye product from Rare Beauty, I would say go with the shadow sticks over the gel liner. It's not terrible, but it's just not as creamy and pigmented as the shadow sticks. So I tested out the brown color, which is in True Brown, and I have a little bit of this on my tight line, but I'm also gonna line my waterline with this too. I don't really feel like you need it, you know, like it's not really life-changing. You have to go over your waterline a couple times to get that true color and pigment. So I don't really feel like you need this. I'm gonna go back in with the shadow stick in Integrity. I'm gonna pop that in the inner corners. You could also, if you wanted to, highlight your nose a little bit with this too. Put a little bit there. I'm gonna also hit my brow bone. Let's do a lip combo now. I'm sure maybe you guys have seen the cherry cola lip combo going around, maybe on TikTok. I don't know where people come up with these names. I find it sometimes cute, but sometimes just a little weird. Like, we're naming all these makeup trends after food, which I'm not totally mad about because I do think it's kind of cute, but at the same time, it's like, who's coming up with these? Cherry cola lips, I think, is actually pretty cute. So we're gonna do a lip combo, and I'm gonna use some Rare Beauty lip liners, which I feel like are perfect for this lip trend. So I'm gonna start off with the lip liner in Strong. Okay, so once we look a little crazy like this, I'm gonna take another Rare Beauty lip liner. This one is in Bold, and it's more of like this really pretty off red shade. And I'm gonna use that to kind of diffuse the edges of the lips a little bit. I'm also going to use my finger to kind of blend this in a little bit, and we're just going to add some gloss over top. So these two lip liners right here, perfection, especially for now for the fall time coming up. I think you would really like these if you're into a bolder lip. You can still make it so wearable. I'm just going to add a little gloss over top and we'll be all good. I'm going to actually just use the lip oil because it is so hydrating. What I've been doing is just wiping off. If I use this over any lip combo, I'll just wipe off the doe foot applicator before dunking it back in here. New setting spray alert from LYS Beauty. This is the Natural Finish makeup setting spray. It says blur, mattify, and set. Love the packaging. I love the way the spray comes out. It's really fine. And this is one of those sprays where when you apply it, it does such a nice job at just almost giving you this really nice veil to the skin, but it doesn't make your face look wet after you do your makeup. So I feel like this would be ideal, of course, for anybody because it does have a nice natural finish, but especially if you have oily skin and you don't want something too intense, or you just want a really fine mist in general, I think you would really like this. I also just realized I forgot to add bronzer, so let me do that really quick before I set. One of my favorite high-end ones is the Fenty Instant Warmth Bronzer in Shady Biz. If I'm really tan or if I want something a bit warmer, I will use the color Private Island, but Shady Biz is just like my perfect everyday bronzer shade. So this is what the makeup looked like when I first applied everything, and then after a few hours, I feel like it looks pretty good, but I definitely have a couple mixed reviews on the products that I used. So let's go through and I'll give you guys some quick speed reviews, starting with both lip oils. You guys know I love the House Labs one. This was just a new shade for me and I absolutely love it. If you like tinted lip oils, you're gonna love the House Labs ones. This honey infused lip oil I also really do like. It's pricey, but I love the formula. If you want to splurge, I think this is nice. I do wish it smelled a little bit more like honey, but I'm still here for it and it feels really nice on the lips. The Rare Beauty shadow sticks, also really pretty. These are long lasting, they're easy to blend, and they're just a good cream shadow stick formula. I definitely cannot wait to try out the other shades. I don't really love this Dream Beam SPF. I think I'm going to continue to use this, but I wouldn't necessarily repurchase it. I don't really love the way this looks on the skin because it gives that white cast. It is glowy, it's hydrating, but I have other favorites. I also don't think I really like the way this looks under makeup. I think it's a bit too greasy. The Makeup by Mario concealer I think actually wore better than the one from Natasha Denona. I'll have to keep playing with this. The shade is not perfect, but I can definitely make it work, I think, more than the one from Natasha Denona. But this is a hydrating medium coverage concealer that is glowy, so if you're into full coverage and more of a matte formula, you're not gonna like this. I don't think it's a bad concealer, but it's just nothing that you haven't seen before, to be honest, but I'll keep testing it out. I definitely need to get another shade of this Natasha Denona concealer because the color is throwing me off so bad, but I don't love the way this wore. I think it definitely excessively creased on me, but I still want to keep playing with this. I'll just probably have to get a better shade for sure. I love the Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil from Makeup by Mario. This is gorgeous and I love the way this wears throughout the day. The One Size Pink powder I also do like, and I think, like I said earlier, it looks really pretty with the pink blush as well, so I'll keep using this for sure. And I will have to test this out with the translucent version and see which one looks best, but this is a good formula. This hydrating skin tint from Hourglass is beautiful. I actually do like the way this wears. Even though I don't really love that Kosas SPF, I still think this skin tint wore really nicely. It's a hydrating, lightweight skin tint, but it makes your skin look super smooth. I'll definitely keep testing this out. And I've also really been loving this LYS Natural Finish Makeup Setting Spray. If you like a fine mist that's really light on the skin, you will love this. And I also love that there's no fragrance to this. So far so good. I will continue using these goodies and keep you guys updated in other videos. Let me know if you've tried any of these, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.